morning. Okay, Philadelphia Eagles, good team, really good team. I think what's most glaring about them is that they win. They know how to win. They've got a style. They have an identity. They know how to take it to the end of the game, possess the ball, and finish it with it in their hand with a dub. So they've been able to do that. They mastered it. Coach Sirianni's done a hell of a job with that crew. They're very talented, outstanding O-line. We know about Barkley. We know about those receivers. Jalen Hurts, runs the ship there, man. I mean, he's outstanding Q, man. Can run, can make those throws, takes his one-on-ones. So dangerous, potent offense, a tight end. I mean, good player, real good player. And then defensively, man, the engine of this defense, that front, those guys can get after it. They added Phillips to it. They got Nolan back. The D tackles there in the middle. It's a disruptive front. They get after it. Backers are smart. And they're aggressive. They play downhill, sideline to sideline. DBs, man, umbrella coverage, but then they'll match up quite a bit too. So smart crew, know how to play. Traditionally has gotten takeaways. I know that not as much as they have in the past, but they're always going after the ball. It's all over the tape. Good special teams crew. They got some returners that can hurt you. So this will be a huge test for us on the road at their place against a championship team, and we're excited about it. We're excited.
In the past, you've Jared, number one in the league in completion percentage. I think he's second in touchdowns, second in passer rating. Is he playing some of the best football that you've seen since you've been with him? And if so, why do you think that is?
I just feel like he's gotten better every year. That's me. I mean, so yeah, I guess to answer that question, yes, I do. I think he's settled into his own to where he just continues to take it another notch and just continues to get better, process information. The game slows down for him. He's playing at a high level. I mean, the amount of, just simply in this walkthrough, this is the first taste of this game plan. Going into Philly and what it's unbelievable, what he's able to grasp, retain, get us into the right play. And we literally just gave it to him. You don't even have time to digest it. You're running out on the field and now you're going through it. You're walking through it. And that's one of his superpowers, right? He plays with the gray matter and he's got the ability to put it on the spot, in tight coverage. That's, I think that's rare to have both. So, but he knows what helps him and what makes him who he is. He's got to be able to rely on that because he's not a guy who's going to be able to, he's not Lamar Jackson. So he leans on what his abilities and skills are, and he's playing at a high level.
In the past, you've been against banning the tush push. You said it's up to you to devise ways to stop it. You don't see that play a whole lot on your schedule typically. I'm just wondering how much thought you've kind of put into it over the last couple of years on how to stop that play.
Yeah, I mean I've thought about it. We've thought about it. I thought there was a chance we may play them last year. We were talking about really the last 2 years. And so, it's always come up in conversations with us and kind of what would you do? How would you handle it? And there again, there's nothing easy about it. I mean, look, every team can say they've got something and then they run it on everybody and have success. They've mastered it. They play with leverage. They know the snap count. And then they've got a couple of curveballs off of it. So, you got to be careful. If it's an all-out sellout with 11 people, then they're off on the perimeter. But we've talked about it, and look, we've got a plan, we got an idea, but you got to execute, and if you don't, you got to line up and do it again if it comes up again, and just find a way to stop them. Hopefully, it's a critical. If you end up getting 3 or 4 of them in a game, maybe it's that one that you stopped that changes the whole game.
To keep it last year, can you just remind us, why you were so adamant about that, and then B, like the officiating problems with it this year? Has that caused you to rethink it?
I don't. Well, here's why. I'm a purist, man. You take something else out of the game, then we're taking the next thing out of the game. Then you're taking another thing out of the game. Then pretty soon we don't have pads anymore. And then pretty soon you're only playing 30 minutes. And then pretty soon it's, so that's why I don't want to take it out of the game. It's something. A team's got a niche. They found something. They're good at it, and it's for everybody else to stop. And it's unique, and it's physical, and more than anything, I just don't want to take anything else out of the game. I just want to leave the game alone. That's me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you thought about using some version of it yourself? Maybe not even with golf, but
yeah, we've talked about it. We've talked about it. But I think some of it too is, I just know me. Like, if it's something that I really want to do, then I want to invest in it, and that means that I want to practice it, and I want to work it, and that's you start talking about, all right, we're going to rep this about 4 or 5 times a day, guys. Line up and put your nose about an inch from the ground, and it's a little different when you start thinking in those terms. But we've talked about it. We've tinkered in practice every once in a while, but just not quite there. We've got some other things we like and we can do.
Since you've been here in 2021, y'all beaten every NFC team at least once, but the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Just from your experience, how competitive you are. How much does that add to it, like to try to get a victory against these guys going? Because in the previous 2, you guys haven't. And what's made them so successful?
Well, first, I just want to win, man. Right? I mean, that's what being competitive is, man. You want to win, and yeah, those guys, we played them twice. They got our number twice. They got after us both times, really. I mean, we fought our way back in 22, but really we were down pretty good. And they have a style and they're very good at it, and I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily complex about it, but it's very sound. It's very sound across the board. And like I say, Nick's done an unbelievable job. And then, Coach Fangio, I mean, he's a legend, man. It stood the test of time, that style of defense, the way they play, the coverage, the rush goes hand in hand, and it's a pain in the ass. It's hard. It's hard to deal with offensively. But I just think it's good. It's good, sound football. And they don't beat themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't beat themselves. And when they need a critical play, they come up with a critical play. And that's what champions do. And that's why they've been able to have the success that they have.
The league has been nickel heavy for the last few years. You guys are playing base as much as anybody. I think the last 2 games, 100% for all 3 of your linebackers. What is it about your personnel and maybe extends to Brian Branch that allows you to kind of stick with 3 linebackers for a whole game?
Well, it's those players. It's the versatility of those guys. I've mentioned this before, but there's of all the good players that we have, and we got a lot of good players, that do different things for us, that make us, I think, make us a very good defense. It's Branch, it's Derek Barnes, and it's Alex Anzalone. Like, those 3 guys alone, their versatility, their smarts, their instincts, the way they play, their ability to cover, to rush, to play the run, that enables you to do things in base that not everybody can do. And it's really that. I mean, those guys are they enable us to allow us to do a lot defense. And Shep's done a hell of a job of putting that all together and making it work, with the rest of that staff. So that to me is what really gives us that ability. Otherwise, we just package it like a lot of teams do, and that's good too. There's nothing wrong with that. But
stat, you guys are last in pass rush win rate. Do you see it that way? And what can be done to, I guess, improve that area?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, look, the stats are stats. I mean, I can't deny that. I don't know what that is. I don't feel that way, but yet I'm not going through everything and calculating what that is or isn't. And maybe a win rate's different. Is a win rate a sack? Is that a pressure? Is that an incompletion that was caused? Is that but look, I think we're able to generate pressure. Are there things from the other day we wish we'd gotten a little more pressure? Yeah, and some of this it comes back to, man, Hutch is not going to get a one-on-one. All right, but when he does, he's got to win. All right, and we trust he will. Well, with that, the more resources that go on somebody like him, then, whoever's drawing the one-on-one is got to get it, because he gets doubled, he gets nudged. All right, somebody else is drawing the center, right? So you got the guard and the center on the turn initially, all right? And then he bumps him, and then he works his way back out. And so at some point, you may have one guy that has a one-on-one. He's got to find a way to push the pocket or edge it and start it at least, right? Start the disruption, which now kind of leads to everybody else. But I feel like we got plenty of ammo. We got the players to do it. We got the scheme to do it. Like I mentioned, Shep's done an outstanding job. I think our rush plan has been really good. It did show up the other day, some of these things on third down that we were doing. Casey's been great for us, our D-line coach. He's got some really good ideas. But as far as that, we always want better, right? All of us, coaches and players. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's run game, stopping the run, rushing the passer, explosive plays on offense, or you're always going to want more. But that's the world we live in, right?
And you mentioned Saquon off the top. I'm just curious, what makes him uniquely challenging to stop relative to other good backs around the league?
Well, it's because he's big. He's big, but he's got the agility and the speed of a scat back, right? So he's got. I mean, he's powerful. He's strong. He's explosive. He can hit the hole, and if he's got a step and there's a hole, he can take it the distance, right? And so you can't just stick an arm out and pull this guy down. And so that's what it is. I mean, you're talking about a power back that's got very good feet. Lateral quicks and explosive and speed to go the distance. That's what it is.
Do you expect Trevor Joseph to practice today? And how has he
progressed?
How has he progressed since?
It's getting better.
Just out of curiosity, did Sirianni say anything, thank you or anything like that for voting to keep the tush push?
No, he didn't. No, and I don't need anything like that. But no, he didn't.
You mentioned the other day, real quick, the atmosphere in Philadelphia. Are your players aware? Have you alerted them to it? And why do you think
we have a lot of guys that have played there?
Okay. Why do you think they'll embrace it as a team?
Well, I just think, man, anybody, when you're a competitor, you just love it, man. You go on the road and it's you against everybody else, and it's very clear that it's you against everybody else there, and there's just enough. I just mentioned this before. You go someplace, man, they wave at you like, man, we're so happy you're here to play against us. This is not one of those places. That's it. It's as far from that as you can possibly get. And it's just, I don't know. I loved playing in atmospheres like that, and I just know the type of guys we have. I think they're going to eat it up. I really do.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.